I'm sitting on the porch in the woods, watching the wind moving the leaves. I'm sitting on my porch in the woods, loving time. I love that song. Very interesting too. It's the last song of that singer writer, and there was another verse, and but he didn't have it yet, so he was whistling the last part of it. That's the story. Right? Shortly after that, he passed away. Yeah, don't ask me the name. Somehow, I should, right? Because we've been talking about the song. Every time that song comes up, it's just like, and I'm in the mountains here, right? I'm not sitting at the dock of a bay. So I just changed it around a little bit so it fits my environment. Oh, not hurting anybody, is it? Yeah, okay. Well, anywho, of course yeah, all right. So I started that out. One really just would love to give little tidbits of life, this and that, little learning, and all that to people out there, and for them to just pay attention to that. That would be nice, wouldn't it? I had a discussion. You can't call it a discussion. It was the comment to a post was in so derogatory towards the woman I love most in this world, and that is True Mother, Mrs. Hawk Jahan Moon. And okay, I'm not going to get farther into that one, but I said, well, according to the book of Genesis, according to the fall and the divine principle, you do not have that right. And he comes back, it's a guy, comes back, and all right, whatever. Yep. And I had to say, well, you see it your way, and I'm going to have to see it God's way. I have to see it God's way. I like to see and do and whatever, say things in the way I like to say. I like. Right? I like, I this, that. And that's not permissible when you believe in our Father in heaven and spirit world and an afterlife. And if you believe that certain things can be restored. It always sounds really interesting, or, well, let's remember, on how the history of the United States, as new people came here to Turtle Island and started to fight for their freedom. And then the stories that go with it of all the different people. I mean, if one digs a little deeper or comes across a really good video that turned out to be true on where our forefathers who signed the Declaration of Independence and all that, and the suffering that went with it afterwards for a lot of these men, different things, then you think about that. And at the end of the video, though, there was something said about freedom, on how how much suffering there went with gaining this freedom here. Made me really, really sad, because the freedom that the people gained here took the freedom from the people that were here before. And one could look at that any which way. Dear me, I'm getting emotional. I'm not an emotional person. So come on now, straighten up. Who knows who's visiting right now? But again, I have to remember as well. My experience I had with that. Yeah, we suffered a lot under the invasion of all of you. But we know now why that had to be in a way, or why it happened the way it did. So don't disappoint us. By not restoring things to the way that the Creator meant for mankind to live on earth. So anyway, so that's kind of the, right? The give and take that happens, I guess, amongst different people, different groups of people, different countries of people. And we're very proud of something someone else had to give up, so we can be proud of it then. So we should absolutely do our best to never make a sacrifice of a good person, be of no value, right? Yes? Sad thing happened here. Well, in another county, 2 police officers and a canine that died because of one person just going nuts. No demonstrations going on out there, eh? Yeah, okay. No statues going to be put up, are there? No. Yeah. Interesting. Some of the things that have happened in this country should give us something to think about. One thing, to see it God's way, God's point of view. Then we teach according to that. That does not have to be done in a violent, forceful way. It is in the Bible where Jesus mentioned what is our strongest, absolute strongest weapon, per se, we have on our side. It's our voice. It is our voice. Can you imagine being on the mountains that he preached at, or wherever he was at? So they say there were thousands of people there, That time, I guess that was a lot. It could have been hundreds of people. That would be a lot. Now you think they didn't have any microphones. How did he preach to everyone, or gave his heart to mind to everyone? How did that work? For the ones that were way in the back, did they hear anything? So I'm thinking, Jesus must have had a pretty loud voice, right? Yes. I have a really, really loud voice. I can holler way out there and I'm heard. Some people don't have a loud voice. That doesn't mean they do not have the intelligence to when they are giving anything from their mouth, that it can't be very profound. It's even better when what you have to say can be said in a quiet voice and people stop talking and are listening to you. You're better than me if you can do that. I have to get loud to be heard. Over all the cell phones and it just... Jesus said, don't worry so much about what goes into your mouth, but what comes out of it can be what will make you or break you. Yeah. Oh, so I have another one. I think okay, I'm going to be really honest here. Oh, blunt. I came out here and I sat in the chair and I had my coffee in my hand. I'm going, God almighty, I'm so fat. All my fatness, from whatever, however it got to that point. It's fine. I'm fine with it. Right? And I thought, wait a minute. It's just not appetizing in any way. Okay. All right. That sounds weird now too. So I'm going, hey, wait a minute. No. There's just more of me grand. So really, when it comes to weight, we should talk about it in a grander way. Wow, you are grand. I love your grandeur. I have an older sister. She's about 10 years older than I am. She's very tall, and she's always been very grand. No, not very, but grand. And she's an artist. She's an amazing artist. I have some art of hers in my house. She's an amazing artist, and she knew just how to dress herself, so she becomes an art piece as well. Lovely, beautiful, wonderful, just beautiful woman. Grand. She was always like that. She told me we didn't grow up together. And the grandeur of her, I always loved. How about that, right? You can be different. People have different body styles, this and that. So in my older age, I've become grand, more grander, and I love it. Well, I'm walking. I think my grandeur is helping me with that. I'm just saying, right? Yes? I'm loving time here. Sitting on my porch. Watching the wind moving through the leaves. And as I'm sitting on my porch, I am loving time. Worked hard for it. Don't ever think. Worked hard for it. It's worth every working hour. Yes? Yes. All right, that's what I wanted to share today. My condolences go out to the families of good men and a good dog we lost. And a thank you to the fallen ones. we're trying. God's love and blessings always. I will talk to you all another time.